welcome to the latest episode of Nerds Amalgamated. With me, I have the DJ.
Hey all.
And the Professor.
Hello.
How are you both How are we all going? Everyone happy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Although, literally, just as we were starting the recording, the foam pad fell off my headphones, so that's going to be comfortable for the next hour.
Oh,
it's going to cost you.
quick. Mayday. Man down. Nothing worse than having a headphone with a bad earpad thing. I'll apologise off the bat because my voice is going to sound a bit strange tonight because I'm currently fighting off the flu. So, yeah, if I sound rather, I don't know whether it be sexy or congested, you can take your pick. But first up, though, because I'm fighting the flu, I did a bit of research and how cities can affect influenza. So, yeah, I don't know. Have you guys read this article yet?
I haven't.
Me neither.
Slack, but the DJ's always slack, so I get some leeway because the DJ's always worse than I am.
Okay. It actually talks about how with the build up of the city and the population and all that, it talks about how it increases the severity of the influenza season sort of thing, and it's all based in America, so they've got a lot of very high built up cities. So yeah, it's rather an interesting read when you look at some like smaller cities have a more intense flu season, but it sort of tends to go away a lot easier. Where in a city, it's more accumulated throughout the flu season. So it kind of so in other words, it hangs around a lot more, kind of like a farting about in a glass elevator. So yeah,
I fart in any elevator, really. Does the material of the elevator have any sort of real measurable effect on the duration?
Well, actually, depending on the material. If it's a natural material, it tends to seep away, and you get some of them that have got a padded surface. Like I've been in some of the elevators where they got the padding on the wall for the service elevator, so you don't damage the walls. It kind of sort of absorbs it. Whereas if it's glass or a hard surface, it tends to just bounce it back at you.
This is
Did you learn this during your psych degree?
Actually, strangely enough, yes.
How many people ran away?
Well, it was a thing we did, and one of the guys that was in my unit was studying engineering. So yeah, we had a good laugh discussion about it. And it's because of the fact we had to actually ride in a glass elevator, and there was a young lady who was on the elevator as she got off. Let one rip that was an absolute ripper. I'll tell you what, you've never seen so many people getting out of an elevator with tears in their eyes. Some of it was from laughter. Some of it was toxic.
Well, they've learned the elementary physics topic of diffusion.
Anyway, yeah, it's kind of an interesting topic because we got the end of winter has gone on, but we're in the spring flu season at the moment. So take care and just avoid being stuck in crowds.
Did the study say which is the most affected? Which city is the most affected?
Well, they show a lot of the bits and pieces there. It's for the high prevalence and so forth. I think they're saying East Coast was predominantly more highly affected.
Yeah, there's a couple of graphs in the article. It does look like, well, not the East Coast, but sort of the inland west out to a straight line up through the middle of Texas.
Yeah, is that the where's the Rockies in America? Is that on the east side?
I think that's further west.
That's further west?
Yeah,
So
because it goes through Colorado.
Yeah,
This is where the American viewers laugh at us.
Yeah. Hey, at least we know that that Australia isn't actually part of Europe.
That is worrying.
But yeah, a lot of the heavier incidences are well, it's on the eastern side of America or of the United States. So yeah, quite interesting that areas such as Seattle and so forth are lower prevalence. But I guess that's because everyone's used to walking around in cold, wet.
I wonder if it's something to do with the culture of those areas. Because we all know Seattle is full of tech guys. And since they're tech guys, they're not going to go outside anyway. So, and you can't spread disease if you're not outside, so...
Good point. A lot of that area is farming area, like Idaho and Ohio and so forth. But it's also, like with Florida and so forth, you've also got a lot of party stuff. But with Florida, you've also got a lot of old people retiring in that area. So that could help drive up some of the statistics there. You've also got the dreaded aircon. You're walking in and out of buildings, so you're out in the hot sun, getting all sweaty and mucky, and then you walk into cold air conditioning. That always seems to help kick off a flu.
Although you might also get places like New York as well, which are really overcrowded at the current state.
Well, that's the thing. New York has a fairly low intensity.
Yeah,
I believe, if that's the spot that I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's not a red zone. It's only, I guess you call that just a yellowy green sort of color.
Yeah.
So
here's an interesting fact for you guys. Guess how much did the flu cost the economy last year? The American economy.
How much, DJ?
10.4 billion.
10.4 billion.
That's more money than I'll make in my lifetime.
Is that $10.4 billion or 10.4 billion cents?
$10.4 billion.
Oh, okay.
$10.4 billion. That's the cost of flu on the US economy.
Oh. Well, folks, you got to take care of yourselves. And I think we should move along to our next topic, which is Professor. You've got some news for us from...
Yes, the most important news.
Citizen.
You ruined my joke. I was going to make a joke about a terrible game, but fine, you ruined it.
Sorry. Would you like to do it again?
No, it's all right, Bucky. I forgive you.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to talk about Star Citizen again, because CitizenCon happened today and yesterday, depending on your time zone, and they had a couple of keynotes about their upcoming games, including a new trailer for Squadron 42, the single-player adventure game. Not a point-and-click adventure, a more modern one with spaceships and flying around, and a huge celebrity cast, which is where I reckon all the money has gone. I reckon they've dumped all that money into hiring Mark Hamill, Gary Oldman, Andy Serkis.
Wow.
Just look it up. There's dozens of famous people in it.
But one of the most interesting things here so far is the actual name of the convention, CitizenCon. Quite apt when we're considering the fact we're actually questioning whether it's actually a Ponzi.
Hey, you remember how we say that Bucky is old?
Yep.
He doesn't remember he made that same joke last time we talked about this.
Did we? Okay, there you go. Shows how much attention I'm paying towards these guys. I don't trust them because of a lot of the stuff they've done. Sorry.
Wow, they even
That's
got
fair
Gillian
enough.
Anderson.
Yep, and it's Gillian, I believe. That's the way everyone with that name I've ever known has pronounced it.
I've always known him as Gillian.
Okay. I mean, I know a girl who pronounces it
Gilligan.
Gillian, but goes by Jill.
Okay, maybe she thinks she's Gilligan.
The
Does she
skipper,
have a friend called Skipper?
the millionaire and his wife.
So
I'm done,
they
DJ. Wasn't that funny?
So with CitizenCon, we get any release dates, like actual release dates?
Nope.
Still no word.
The key release date is that the development version 3.3 is launching to the test servers today, and goes to the sort of public test servers in a couple of weeks.
Okay. So there's actually something you can actually play now.
Oh yeah, you've been able to play the demo versions and the in-development versions if you buy into it for a couple of years now. So it is a playable game. It's just still a long way from being what they want it to be.
So with what's happened with the trailer release, has it redeemed the CEO of Star Citizen?
Not until the game comes out.
And as we said last week, there was all the legal charges that are going on at the moment.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm sorry, but no, they're not redeemed.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
not yet.
Much more intelligent and fun. You got something else to tell us about?
The Doctor Who episode that I watched on Monday. Did you guys get around to seeing it?
Not yet.
No, not yet. No.
Okay. Short version, the Doctor's a woman, if you somehow missed that in the last year. But I'm pretty much sold on her being a woman. The actress they've got, Jodie Whittaker, is fantastic. What did I say?
You're sold on a woman being a woman. I'm sorry, but that's a DJ thing to say.
It is. It's dropping off on me.
Were you unsure that she was a woman? Do you often find yourself unsure about whether a woman's a woman or a man's a man?
Well, there is that one time back in the summer of 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so good.
Is that a Bandcamp moment?
No, not a Bandcamp moment. I did go camping in 2012, but it's not a Bandcamp moment.
Ah, Brokeback.
Oh.
No, not Brokeback either. It was a scout camp.
Scout camp.
Some two cowboys up in the mountains.
I think we should just move away from this right now because you're just digging further and further.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, I'm going to dig to China, and then I'm going to have a direct route to go to China for shipping. And I'm going to, throw a message through and say, China, send me this. And then they'll throw it back through. And I will save weeks on shipping.
It doesn't take weeks for shipping to China.
It does if you pick the free shipping option on AliExpress.
That's just because AliExpress stuff's around. I used to get stuff shipped from China, and we would put the order through and would have stuff back 2 days later. And that, I mean, like a container of gear.
Well, where else am I supposed to get 600 resistors for $2?
Oh, you can get them from China. Just deal direct with someone over there. There's lots of companies you can deal with directly, and they ship a lot quicker.
Okay, so we've gone from a geek news podcast to a podcast about manufacturing logistics.
Wow, no. Let's just get back on topic here. I want to hear about the Doctor Who that told you that she is actually a woman.
I saw the moment when when Capaldi regenerated into Jodie Whittaker, and that was good. That was a good scene. That was a pretty good scene. I think she had.
This episode follows on pretty much directly from that. It introduces the Doctor when she falls through the roof, like literally through the roof.
Wow.
And I'm trying to describe it without spoiling anything, but she comes through the roof and has a moment right away where I thought, that's it, she's got what it takes.
Okay.
It's like she can be the Doctor, not most actors when they first start being the Doctor, takes me a couple of episodes to warm up to them.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't completely warmed up to her because, damn it, I want Capaldi's angry eyebrows back. They're attack eyebrows.
See, here's the thing. Like, see, with Jodie Whittaker as a Doctor, she has big shoes to fill on being the first woman Doctor. Like because everyone has fallen in love with David Tennant, and then when Matt Smith got on the ward, people were like, okay. And then Capaldi fans were still, he was good in some aspects, not good in others. But
Capaldi's got to be the most divisive Doctor of the Revive series.
And is it that she's got big shoes to fill, or is it a combination of big shoes and small feet? Because women usually have small feet.
That's true.
And looking at the picture here, she's only got small feet. So
I'm just saying she's got big shoes to fill in terms of whether she can win the fans after Capaldi divided the fans.
I think the reactions have been very positive.
I was just going to say, most of the Whovians out there that I know aren't actually going to be too troubled by the fact that it's a lady doctor. The idea might have scared some of them at the start, but a true Whovian is open to the idea because the whole concept of the Time Lords is the change and all that, and it's also the non-gender bias sort of stuff. So
honestly, I was a little bit scared of it to begin with because I was worried they wouldn't handle it well. But so far in this first episode, they've handled it very well. And back when they first announced her, as soon as I remembered Missy, I thought, they can pull this off.
Yeah.
The female master.
The thing you got to remember, though, is a lot of the guys that are working on this now have grown up with Doctor Who from the original series and all that, all the way through. So...
Oh, yes. I saw Neil Gaiman on Twitter the other day taking down someone having a whinge about how anyone who thinks Jodie is a good doctor is someone who's only a new fan because she's a woman, not a fan who's been around since the 60s. And Neil Gaiman's just like, my first episode was An Unearthly Child. You can read about it in my introduction to the novelization I wrote.
I remember back Doctor Who in black and white when I was a kid.
And that really weird intro sequence with the almost looks like sand pouring.
It was, but the whole concept, like when you consider the time it was from and everything like that, it was so much fun. It was better than pretty much everything else on TV. Like you had shows like that and The Land That Time Forgot, The Land of the Giants and stuff like that. There were some amazing TV shows where the special effects people actually had to create things. So it wasn't all CGI.
Yeah. The sound of the TARDIS was originally from keys being dragged along piano strings.
Yes. I think I actually posted a video on our Facebook page. It's got the guy who actually was involved in making a lot of the sound effects.
Okay. Speaking of old Doctor Who sound effects, what's her name? Delia Derbyshire, who did the original music.
Mm-hmm.
They've tracked down original copies of her theme song, and that's what the current one is based off.
Good to see they're going back to the original stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys in the BBC sound studios, so the men and women there, they had some of the most amazing stuff that they were just pulling out. And you got to wonder how they came up with the ideas, but you got to love that they did.
I've always thought Foley sound is must be a really fun job. You just got to have all these ideas of what sort of sound make the right mood for what you want. So you can have two bits of fruit going tapping on the ground for footsteps, or a piece of steel vent being pulled out of its wrapper for a sword being unsheathed.
Yes.
We'll
post a link in the show notes where there's actually a YouTube video with one of the guys who was part of the original sound team for Doctor Who playing the original theme song and all the voice overlays and so forth that they did, and all the bits and pieces that were happening.
Who's your favorite villain in the Doctor Who franchise overall?
It's a tough one. There's been a lot of good ones.
I've got to say the Daleks are always fun.
So iconic.
It's
people aren't going to know what something out of Babylon 5 or Blake 7 is, but everyone knows what a Dalek is.
Yeah, it's one of the most synonymous things. Like you say Doctor Who, people know Daleks. And it's one of those, they're one of the recurring characters that's always fun to watch.
But there have been others, there's the Cybermen and the Master.
Well,
yeah, Missy's probably my favorite villain of the last couple of years because she does the Master so well.
Mm-hmm. But there's also
especially the finale of last season where they had Michelle Gomez and John Sim together as the Master and Missy.
Mm-hmm.
You were going to say something, Buck?
There was one of the episodes. I can't remember the name of the doctor, but it was the blonde doctor that followed Tom Baker.
The sixth. The fifth one. Peter Davison.
And they're in an English seaside town with a bus, and I can't remember all the details, but like that was fun. Like I can't remember who the bad guys were, but yeah, that whole, because that was like 4 or 5 episodes, and that was just so much fun.
So fifth Doctor, who were the?
There's been a lot of Doctor Who episodes at the beach. I suppose when you can go anywhere to find your episode.
Set in the 1950s or 1960s.
80s. That was his tenure.
No.
But the episode, it's a show about time travel. It doesn't have to be set in the year the Doctor was the Doctor.
The episodes were set for this. Was this particular episodes were set like in the 1950s or something with the rock and roll era?
Right. I was talking more like when was it shown and stuff.
Yeah.
When was it? Have they announced who's the new Doctor's companion?
Yeah, she picked up 3 of them in the first episode.
Oh, nice.
It's a ensemble cast this time.
Huh.
And they're all pretty good so far. We've got a sort of skeptic guy, like when the Doctor says, that's an alien, he's like, no such thing as aliens. And there's a 19-year-old guy with dyspraxia.
Mm-hmm.
His policewoman friend. That's all the ones who are going on to the next episode.
Okay. I might check this out sometime soon. But you last long, because the last few Doctors, they haven't lasted that long, haven't they?
Does 4 or 5 years not count as long?
Who?
Does 4 or 5 years not count as long?
Oh, I was thinking more like more than 5 years, actually.
Most
Doctors don't last
5 years.
Because how long? Tennant was pretty long, wasn't he? 5. It was 5 years. Because who was the longest Who was the longest tenure?
I've got a list here.
Tom Baker.
I think, Tom Baker at 6 years and 8 months.
Oh,
that's interesting. They're already counting. I suppose she had her first scene last year, but they're already counting Jodie Whittaker at 9 months in the list of actors who have played the Doctor page on Wikipedia.
That's amazing. Oh man.
Although technically, Paul McGann is the longest serving Doctor.
Yep.
So but that's only
96 in 2005.
Was it 2005? No, last year he appeared in 2013 or something, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Night of the Doctor. Yeah. It was a short. It was a very, very short episode.
It was a short episode.
The technicality.
It was a mini episode they did leading up to the 50th.
Yeah.
And that's the technicality that got him the longest.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's Tom Baker.
Explain his regeneration into the War Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, though, I think Matt Smith is the longest lived Doctor because he had a couple of times where he just sat around for a couple of centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the War Doctor. He was great. He was great in that special.
Yeah. Unfortunately, John Hurt is no longer with us.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen John Hurt in something that he wasn't good at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, DJ, you've never seen the first Doctor?
No, I saw snippets of it, but not. The only thing I saw on the first Doctor was that iconic line. It goes something like this. He's devoid of sadness, anger, and stuff. Have you have no feelings at all, or something like that?
Is he breaking up really badly for you too, Bucky?
Yeah.
Say it again, DJ.
I remember the only thing I remembered from the first Doctor was there was some iconic quote saying about how teacher had no feeling, and his lines and his question was, "Have you have no feeling at all, sir?" or something like that, something to that line.
Okay, most iconic quote for the first Doctor for me is when he he leaves Susan behind on Earth, and he says, "No tears now. I will come back. Yes, one day I will come back."
Yeah.
And he never did. Eventually, she went back to Gallifrey and died in the Time War.
It was from
Anyhow, I suppose we should probably move on. Otherwise, people think this is just another Doctor Who podcast.
Is that a problem?
No, I just don't want to steal the thunder from all those that are so passionate about it, especially when we're trying to educate the DJ about who Doctor Who is, really.
That's what we should do. We should do a Doctor Who podcast where every week we watch one story and then make the DJ watch it so that he gets an education.
I started only watching it during the David Tennant era. I haven't seen any of the...
Yeah, but back to the first episode.
The very first.
Yes.
The very first.
All 16 days or whatever it is of footage.
You can actually buy the 50-year Doctor Who set for $109 on Fish Pond.
Good to know.
I'll be back.
Here's that. Here's the.
We've lost the professor. He's gone to Fish Pond to buy it.
I think he's his way of saying, "Hold my beer. I'm going to buy it right now." So here's the quote that I got from I remembered from the first Doctor: "Emotions, love, pride, hate, fear. Have you no emotions, sir?" That's the only line I remembered from the Doctor, and that was that was from the Cybermen era.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the professor right now, he's just looking at his phone, downloading the app and buying it right now.
Nah, I want a more hard copy. I want a big TARDIS-shaped bookshelf.
Well, this is the hard copy. This is the DVD box set.
Oh, nice. So anyway, I think you were trying to push us on to the next thing, weren't you, Bucky?
I was trying to suggest that, but the DJ decided he was going to host the program this week.
Actually, you were the host, weren't you, Buck?
Well, that's what I thought, but you kind of took over, so just waiting for you to either continue or shut up and let us move on.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. Well then, the next topic is with you anyway, so you can keep talking. Just go talk about something different.
So I've got some unfortunate news for Attack on Titans fans, and that is it's on hiatus. A 3-week hiatus, sadly.
Okay, why is it on hiatus?
Well, from what I've gathered, according to certain Reddit posts, they were saying that they hope to see more. They're saying, as previously confirmed, there is 100% no SNK broadcast for the early mornings of 10th or 15th and 10th 29, or in other NHK slots during the weeks after the 10th of the 8th broadcast. So any other time earlier time anyhow, considering the maturity of the content a fan wrote. So I don't know, they have the TV companies haven't said anything like why they're doing this whole break.
Because why not? I want to go on holiday.
Yeah, saying that no studios haven't said anything about the scheduling gap, but fans feel confident it's heading through a long hiatus. So at most it's 3 weeks. But here's the thing: they did this hiatus which was during September, and that was during an earthquake that happened.
Your signal was really terrible, DJ.
I was just going to say,
make sure you're not downloading or
half
anything.
your conversation.
No, I'm not downloading it. Not doing anything. Yeah, so they were saying that there was due to September, the anime was delaying the episode one episode by a week. So it felt weird. After one episode, after a typhoon, you would think like, yeah, we can bring back the anime. Like, it's pretty weird.
No, yeah, you're awful, DJ.
Okay.
Can't publish this. We're going to cut all that. Cut it all.
Alright, so you guys want to you guys go head to the games then. Don't worry about my topic then.
Okay, you go check your internet. We'll head to the games.
Okay, cool. Alright.
Or something, whatever Bucky wants to do, because he's hosting.
Okay.
And he's
Yay. No, he's back.
And he's back.
No, he's back, but he's not talking. I can live with that. Okay, so what game have you been playing this week, Professor?
They are Billions. It's a zombie survival RTS.
Okay.
Start off with a command center and a couple of soldiers, and you have to build a city that stands up to zombie hordes. It's
Sounds
brutal.
interesting.
And every update, I think, can't possibly get any worse. But no, they had something new. The most recent update has giant zombies who are basically indestructible.
Wow.
So it's Attack on Titan,
Just
but
haven't
zombies.
Kinda. That's weeby.
But there have been certain zombie games with that. With that, there are certain zombie games with they've done that same formula, though, haven't they?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Well, what was that one game that wasn't Fortnite? It was some. Hang on a second.
You talk about Fortnite for everything. Everything is Fortnite. You've never played Fortnite.
No, this isn't a tower defense or anything, DJ. This is a full-on RTS game.
Hang on. DJ, do you know what RTS means?
Real time strategy.
Okay, just making sure.
Can you say pardon?
I was just making sure.
Okay.
Anyhow.
Yep.
So, anything exciting there with it, Professor? That any real standout things that make it a lot more fun than most of the other zombie games out there?
How terrifying it is when the horde comes and starts smashing down your walls.
Okay, because I'm just looking at some of the pictures of this, and because there's also another game out there called Last Shelter where you build your shelter and you can actually do it like as part of a team and all that.
Okay, I'll just look that up and see what it looks like because that sounds fun.
You built, it's
okay. Yeah, it's more straight up tower defense, and it's a mobile game.
Yeah, this is looking really, really cool. Although with some of the graphics, it is kind of reminiscent of Attack on Titan.
They are Billions or The Last Shelter?
They are Billions.
Yeah, it's
very
Steam
anime. Yeah, very, very anime sort of themed graphics.
Fair enough.
Which isn't a bad thing, most people. There's more people in the world who like anime than don't.
Yeah, assuming you only take people who actually know about anime.
Yes. Now, since you're back, DJ, did you want to finish? Have you got any more information about Attack on Titan?
No information. Sorry.
Okay. So what game have you been playing this week?
I'm playing Path of Exile, actually.
That was the same one as last week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same one last week, but it's just too addictive. It's just so addictive, that game. Even with all that, even with so many gems and so much loot, it's just too addictive. I was supposed to say something about the last time. My biggest gripe with Path of Exile is the huge tech tree.
Okay, and why have you got
so huge? Yeah, it's just trying to figure out oh, Buck.
Assume he's dying of the flu. Just keep talking.
Oh, yeah, it's just the tech tree just is pretty huge, and it just looks daunting. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, there are videos on YouTube that show you ways to upgrade your character for specific results where people have actually sat down and analysed it for you.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. But
what?
Do I want to sit down and just watch the video and then try and copy it? And it's just trying to multitask it. Multitasking is just kind of daunting at times. But that's just me.
Well, that's what Alt Tab is for. But yeah. If you're concerned about it, then that's okay. Everyone's allowed to be scared of things. I've just been playing in Skyrim again, killing dragons, leveling up. So nothing majorly there.
So you're still doing so you're still not playing the DLC?
Not yet, no.
Which DLC have you got so far?
None.
Okay.
I've just got Skyrim, the original. I think I'm considering getting some DLC, but yeah, at the moment I'm just having fun leveling my character up and running around and doing all the different missions.
You gonna try any of the Skyrim mods?
Maybe. Anyway, move on to famous birthdays, I guess, or have we got something else we need to bring up at all?
No, I think that's everything. The show notes. So
yeah.
Yep, just making sure there was no breaking news or anything.
No.
No. Okay. Famous birthdays. 9th of October, 1823, Marianne Shadd Cary, an American-Canadian publisher and anti-slavery campaigner, and the first African-American newspaper publisher, was born in Washington, Delaware. So quite a Wilmington, sorry. Quite a huge accomplishment for that particular lady, given the time. So yeah, lots of respect for her. 9th of October, 1852, we have Emil Fischer, a German chemist, discovered Fischer esterification. He won his, I'm pretty sure I've stuffed up the pronunciation, won the Nobel Prize in 1902, was born in, I'm not even going to try and say that one, but yeah, happy birthday to him. 9th of October 1940, John Lennon, singer-songwriter, peace activist, downfall of the Beatles when he hooked up with that horrible, horrible lady. If you say her name, I'm going to boot you, DJ, so don't even think about it.
Hey, I'm with you on this one, man. I'm with you on this one.
9th of October 1952, Sharon Osbourne was born, and the world's never been the same since. She's kind of like the English version of the Kardashians, isn't she? Although she has more of a claim to fame just because she's married to Ozzy Osbourne. He, strangely enough, is still more intelligent than the Kardashian family.
Yes, even though we can't tell the difference between a real bat and a fake bat.
Wow. If you had taken as many drugs as he had, I'd like to see you do the same. Which actually raises the question of how much of an intelligent genius would he have been if he didn't do the drugs?
Yep.
But
we will never know until we develop cloning.
9th of October, 1966, David Cameron, who was the PM, was born. Not sure how he managed to sneak in there. Politicians, they're cropping up everywhere.
Can't get rid of them.
Events of interest. 1540 this week, 1547, Miguel de Cervantes is baptized. And
the author of Don Quixote.
I was just going to say, for those of you who are wondering who Miguel de Cervantes was, some interesting reading for you to go and have a look at. Also this week we had Benjamin Banneker, an African-American astronomer, mathematician, and the surveyor of Washington, D.C., dies at age 74.
Interesting fact about Banneker, as soon as he died, most of his notes were all destroyed. The only thing that was left was his diary, and that was it.
Why was that?
Give me a second.
Okay, I thought there was a conspiracy thing that you're going to drop on us.
Unfortunately not. Not even the penguins could be that dastardly.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past the penguins. They're sneaky, sneaky little devils.
Or the dolphins.
Yeah. 1936, Hoover Dam begins transmitting electricity to LA. So was that actually a relation of yours, Professor?
I honestly don't know. The Hoover name is prestigious and known around the world.
Quite interesting.
Although the Hoover responsible for Hoover Dam, well, who it's named after, happened to live in Australia for a few years as well.
Yeah,
so it could be related.
One lonely night, somewhere along the line. 1941, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt approves an atomic program, the beginning of the Manhattan Project. 1967, Che Guevara was executed, which is a shame because he was one of the really good blokes who was fighting for equality. 1974, Oskar Schindler from Schindler's List died, and is the only Nazi buried at I can't remember the name of the exact place where he's buried now. Just trying to look it up here. No, doesn't say. Yeah, I think it's in Mount Zion or something like that in Israel.
Yeah, in Jerusalem on Mount Zion.
There you go. Yeah, only Nazi actually buried there, and still beloved by many people. 1975, Soviet dissident Andrei Sakharov wins the Nobel Peace Prize. Interesting thing there is he was the father of the Russian atomic program. 1881, we have Darwin's work on mold and worms is published, which he thought was actually
better. Yeah,
he thought it was much better than the theory of evolution. Yeah, don't really see too many people out there talking about the mold and worms.
No, and his theory on evolution has been a far more impactful book.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a copy of it on my bookshelf right now. I don't have a copy of Darwin's Mold and Worms.
You'll have to rectify that. Get an autograph copy. 1991, first instance of someone going postal is recorded. Was it only in 1991 that they started recording it as going postal?
It's one of the first incidents that led to it being called going postal.
Okay.
Where a very mentally ill American postal worker lost his job, bought a samurai sword and some grenades and guns, and then went on a couple of killing sprees, killing people he thought had wronged him, including his former co-workers.
So just out of curiosity, because this sort of thing is always blamed on computer games by the retards who don't know what they're talking about, what computer games did he play?
Well, obviously he was a time traveler, and he was inspired by the computer game Postal.
Okay. Because, as everyone knows, it's always the computer game.
Yep.
Anyway, I think that's it for another week. So, unless there's any other breaking news anyone wants to bring up?
No.
I've got nothing.
No.
Nothing.
I got nothing.
Alrighty.
There is no news.
Which is good news. Anyway, it's... I suppose... Oh, yeah. We are on Spotify, Stitcher, and iTunes. And it's the only podcast releases. We will have a video coming up on YouTube as part of our Halloween preparation special.
Yes, as soon as I finish editing 4 hours.
Yes, it was an epic game and a lot of fun.
Oh,
And I just want to say,
go
Doug. Everyone needs to be on Team Doug.
Doug the hero.
He was a mighty,
all hail
mighty
the
hero.
Doug.
Our Twitter account is... Come on, tweet.
@n amalgamated.
And our email address?
nerds.amalgamated@gmail.com.
Okay, and is there any of our fellow podcasts that anyone wants to give a shout out to this week, Professor? You normally
I haven't had a chance to slip in any terrible puns this week.
Although you did quite well before without even intending to.
Yes.
Although we do
who should we shout out this week?
I don't know. We'll just say that's not Canon Productions. See if there's any.
Yes.
We'll
all
give
of
a
them,
shout
because there are a lot of us now.
And it's all fun. Actually, we'll give a shout out to My Song Sucks.
Yes, it's a good one.
Don't know if you guys have actually listened to any of their stuff, but it is funny.
I've listened to one episode and I should take the time to listen to more.
Yeah. Alrighty, so it's so long from me.
I'll see you next week.
See you guys.